Hello friends, welcome to the new video of tense. So in this video, we are going to learn tenses only in 20 minutes. Yes, you heard right, in 20 minutes. And I can promise you that you will master the tenses at the end of this video. So make sure watch the video till the end and master it. So let's start the video. As we all know that we have 12 tenses. Okay, 12 tenses we have and three main tenses. We have the first tense is present tense, past tense, and future tense. Each tense has four parts, and we are going to discuss all the tenses. We will do comparisons and we are going to learn them in a way that you are not going to forget them. Okay, first is present tense. Let's begin with simple present tense of present tense. So simple present tense is most often used for day-to-day conversation. We use it every single day. Let's understand with some examples. For example, I say I teach English, or my son goes to the school every day. I meditate every morning, or I drink a cup of coffee early morning. These are the works or habits or routines I do every day. So this is why it is coming in simple present tense. So simple present tense shows us habits, routines, and facts. Okay. The structure is with he, she, it, and name. We use verb first form, and in verb first form we use s or es. Then object we use. And with I, you, we, they and plural subject we use verb first form, simply verb first form and object. As example, I drink coffee early morning. So I के साथ drink. I use drink, not drinks. He drinks coffee every morning. She meditates early morning. Okay. So this is how we make simple present tense. And for the fact, I can say I teach English. So this is a fact of my life that I teach English. Or I can say water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So this is also the fact. The sun rises in the east. This is also a universal truth. So this is all about simple present tense. Next tense is present continuous tense. As the name suggests, continuous. An action which is happening in a continuous form. Okay, which is happening in a continuous form is called present continuous form. Present continuous tense. So present continuous tense tells about an action, an ongoing action in the present tense, in a present period. Okay. So present continuous tense is used for the action happening right now or a temporary activities. For example, I can say I am teaching English, or you are watching tense video, or I can say that I am learning yoga nowadays. My son is going to the school. So this is how we make present continuous tense. The structure is I के साथ हम use करते हैं am and verb ing and object. With he, she, it and name we use is and verb ing and object. With you, we, they and plural subject we use are and verb ing and object. This is how we make it. For temporary activities, we can say nowadays I am learning yoga, or he is learning to play the guitar nowadays, or my son is doing his homework right now. So these are the activities taking place in the present time. Okay, this is how we make present continuous tense. Let's do a quick comparison between simple present tense and present continuous tense. In simple present tense, we say I drink coffee early morning. Okay, and in present continuous tense, I would say I am drinking coffee right now. So the simple present tense, it is saying that yes, this is a habit and a routine of mine. And in present continuous tense, it is saying that it is being, this action is being done right now. कि ये काम अभी हो रहा है. Okay. Okay. Now discuss simple past tense. Simple past tense we use for completed actions. Okay, simple past tense we use for completed actions. For example, we visited zoo last Sunday, or I conducted group session yesterday. So the structure is with any subject you use verb second form and object. So those actions which already happened we use for that simple past tense. Now, after simple past tense, we have past continuous tense. So, past continuous tense we use for ongoing action in the past or an unfinished action in the past, which action is being interrupted by the another finished action of the past. Okay? तो क्या मतलब है इसका कि पास्ट कंटिन्यूस टेंस हम एक ऑनगोइंग एक्शन के लिए जो कि पास्ट में हो रहा है उसके लिए यूज करते हैं, और दूसरा हम पास्ट कंटिन्यूस टेंस का यूज करते हैं वहां पर जब एक काम लगातार हो रहा था पास्ट में पर एक दूसरे एक्शन ने उस काम को इंटरप्ट कर दिया. ठीक है, तो दैट सेकेंड इंटरफेयर वाला जो एक्शन है इट कम्स इन सिंपल पास्ट टेंस. Okay, and that first wala action it comes in past continuous tense. For example, when I was teaching my son, the doorbell rang. It was raining when he left for the college. So it was still raining when he left the college. So matlab he already left the college. वो काम, that second action already finished, but that first action it is still going on. That is why we use past continuous tense for that unfinished action in the past, and that for the finished action which is interrupting that past continuous, that ongoing action, it comes in simple past tense. Okay, the structure is with he, she, it, and I. We use, or with name, we use was and verb ing form and object. With you, we, they, and plural subject, we use were and verb ing form. And for the action is interfering, that past continuous tense, we use simple past tense wala rule. Okay, simple past tense rule we use for that. So far, we have discussed simple present tense, present continuous tense, simple past tense, and past continuous tense. Now, we are going to discuss present perfect tense. It's a bit tricky tense. However, I make sure that you can understand this with this discussion. Okay, so present perfect tense. What is present perfect tense? Present perfect tense shows us about those recent actions or events which have already taken place, but we are talking about those actions in present. Okay, जो चीजें just हुई ही हैं, those actions which have just taken place. For those actions, we use present perfect tense. ओके तो अब क्या होता है कि प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस में और सिंपल पास्ट टेंस में बहुत कंफ्यूजन रहता है, विच शुड बी यूज्ड हियर. तो फर्स्ट क्लियर अबाउट प्रेजेंट परफेक्ट टेंस. Present perfect tense we use for experiences and recent actions or events. For example, I have taught English to the people of all walks of life. Okay. She has visited us in Delhi 4 times. Or I have visited Dehradun many times. Okay, so here I am talking about these examples are showing experiences. है ना? If I talk about recent activity, so I would say that my son has just finished his homework, or I would say I have just conducted group session. So this is how we make present perfect tense. The structure is with name and he, she, it, we use has and verb third form. Verb third form. With I, you, we, they, and plural subject, we use have and verb third form. So there is a big confusion between present perfect tense and simple past tense, which should be used. So for the simple past tense, we use completed action. For present perfect tense, we use the actions which is recent or which is experiences, which shows some experiences of life. Okay, for example, she has visited us in Delhi 4 times. So this is present perfect tense. This is about her experience. If I want to transform it into simple past tense, then I would say she visited us in Delhi last year. Last year, okay, last year वो हमको visit किया. Last year उसने हमें visit किया था Delhi में. So this is about, we can transform it in a simple past tense and a present perfect tense. So simple past tense, the easy trick, you can find out the time, that time period. It is always talks about past tense, like last week, yesterday, or last week, yesterday, last night. This is how we use simple past tense. Overall, you can say that we use present perfect tense for that condition where the timeline is still in the present tense, but the action has already finished. Okay, and in whereas in simple past tense, the action and the time, the duration, they both are ended. This is how we make simple past and present continuous, present perfect tense. So now we have present perfect continuous tense, as the tense is suggesting perfect continuous. So continuous means an ongoing action, and perfect means it will give you a time period. Okay, so those actions which are continuously going on, okay, continuously going on, they started in the past but they are still going on, it comes in a present perfect continuous condition, present perfect continuous tense. For example, they have been discussing this matter since last night. Okay, I have been learning yoga for 5 years. Okay, so here you can notice that I have put some time period. Okay, time period, it is here about that for 4 years or since last night. So this is how you can recognize that here you have to use present perfect continuous tense where you find out for or since. Okay, this is a trick or tip, I would say. The structure is with he, she, it, and name. We use has been, and verb ing form, and for the time period we use since or for. For I, you, we, they, and subject plural, we use have been, and verb ing plus for and since. Now, where to use for and since? So for we use for uncertain period, and since we use for certain period. For example, I have been learning yoga for 5 years, or she has been writing this book for 10 years. So 10 years and 5 years, we don't know what are those 10 years or those 5 years. If I say that if I want to mention that perfect time or certain time, I would say that I have been learning yoga since 2023. 2023 is a year which is certain. Okay, she has been writing this book since 2015 or 2016. Okay, so this is how we have to mention for and since. Now we have past perfect tense. For example, I had conducted the session when she joined. Okay, or we had left the party when they reached. What these sentences are showing? These sentences are showing, first of all, two actions. Past perfect tense is used for the completed action. For that second action, we use simple past tense. So past perfect tense shows the action which completed first. Okay, it shows that action which completed first, and second action comes in simple past tense. Okay, the structure is with any subject we use had and verb third form. Had and verb third form. Make sure you have to use there that simple past tense for the second action. Okay, so this is how we make past perfect tense. For example, I had finished work before you arrived. Okay, she had already finished that work before he arrived. Okay, before you arrived. Matlab that action already happened before that second action happened. So this is how we use past perfect tense. The last tense of past is past perfect continuous tense. So this tense we use for, again, for ongoing action in the past. But we use here also the second action. Okay, so time foundation is also here. Present perfect continuous tense we use for the ongoing action in the past before started another finished action. Okay, before starting another action. Okay, so this is how we use present perfect continuous tense. For example, she had been waiting for the teacher for 2 hours when he arrived in the class. Okay, so she had been continuously waiting for the teacher for 2 hours. Again, like that present content, like that present perfect continuous tense, there is a time mentioned for with the with for and since. ठीक है, for और since के साथ यहाँ पे भी time mention होगा with that before वाला action. So before that, so present perfect continuous tense we use for that before happening that action, what I was doing with the time mentioned. Now, future tense. So first we will discuss simple future tense. So simple future tense, as we all know, we use will. Okay, will and going to. So I have divided it into two sections where you use will and where you use going to. So will we use for those instant actions, instant decisions, offers, prediction. For example, I say I'll call you in few minutes. I'll call you in few minutes. So this is an instant decision or instant action I'm going to take. So where we use will for those actions which are being taken instantly. Okay, we use for that will. And where we use going to. So going to we use for those actions which we have already planned. For example, I am going to visit Dehradun this week. So I have already planned this, that yes, I'm going to visit Dehradun this week. Okay, the structure is with any subject we use will, okay, and verb first form and object. And with any subject you use is, am, are, going to. Okay, I'm going to, she's going to, he or you are going to visit us next week. So this is how we use simple future tense. Next is future continuous tense. We use for ongoing action in the future or a part of our routine. For example, I will be teaching English tomorrow, or we will be leaving for Mumbai next morning. So this is how we make future continuous tense. So the structure is with any subject we use will be and verb ing. Okay, will be and verb ing. Now future perfect tense. Future perfect tense is used for completed action in the future. For example, he will have completed this course by next month. Okay, or so the structure is with any subject we use will have and verb third form. Will have and verb third form. For example, I can say she will have completed her work by 8 p.m. By 8 p.m. Okay, the last of future tense is future perfect continuous tense. We use this tense for ongoing action in future with a time duration. Okay, ongoing action in future with time duration. For example, I will have been teaching in this institute for 10 years by next year. Okay, so this is showing a time duration that from by next year I will have been teaching in this institute for 10 years. Okay, the structure is with any subject we use will, have been, verb ing form and time duration. All right. Of course, in future tense we use most often simple future tense and future continuous tense. The other tenses are not as often used as others being used. Okay. So I hope through this video you would have learned tenses very easily and completely. This video will be informative and knowledgeable for you. Thanks for watching.